What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Savage. And we're back with another theory. How many does he have? Too many. Stay tuned. If you want more theories, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Today we're going to talk about a certified goat. Okay, one of my goats, one of my personal goats. All right, he's definitely in my top 10 favorite characters. Not sure if he cracks the top 5, but he's up there. Okay, Marco the Phoenix. One of the biggest questions that I see pop up a lot is like, what is Marco's purpose here in Wano, right? And Marco was set up right at the beginning. I mean, you go back to chapter 909, that's essentially the beginning of Wano. And how does it begin? It begins with this guy, okay? Now, I am going to talk about what I believe Marco's purpose is. I'm going to talk about what I think he's going to do for the remainder of Wano that is going to make his presence here actually important. And because I just recently read 909, I'm going to talk about why I think Sphinx Island is actually going to be important within the context of all of it. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. So, fun fact, Marco's a phoenix. Wow, yes, we know this. The phoenix is a very, very popular mythology to explore in media. We've seen it in many things. It's in X-Men, it's in Harry Potter. The phoenix rises from the ashes. For years, since we knew about his fruit, people have speculated and sort of thought, okay, well, just based on Marco's fruit, at some point he has to die, right? Because then he has to resurrect himself. He has to immolate himself. He has to rise from some ashes. Oda has been using him as just a plot device. Get Zoro up to the roof, right? What is Marco going to do that is going to prove that he needed to be on Wano, right? Well, up until Kazenbo happened, I didn't think much. I figured, hey, you know what? Marco's sacrifice will probably be in the final war. No, I think it is actually going to be in Wano now. So we have the last final act of Kanjuro, Kazenbo. This giant fire creature is now falling to the depths of Onigashima and is going to set Onigashima ablaze. It's going to blow it up. This is going to be like 50 alabastas. And here we have this arc's Pell. All right. Yamato is going after Kazenbo. And that makes sense because Yamato has ice powers. I think that they're going to put up a valiant effort, but I think it's going to be Marco that is actually going to stop this. And why? As of this recording, the last time that we saw Marco, he was flying through the air carrying Izo, and they were talking about Kazenbo, talking about a fire yokai and going into the direction of that. Now we know that Marco dropped Izo off to aid Usopp in saving Kiku, but Marco didn't show up. Now it's still possible that Marco heals Kiku, and that's, part of what he's supposed to do in the story, and then goes after Kazenbo. What I think is going to happen is that after Yamato's valiant effort, the timer is going to get really close. Kazenbo is going to get right to that moment where all hope is going to be lost, and then Marco will fly into Kazenbo, absorb the flames or do some sort of phoenix magic, and turn Kazenbo into ashes. And then from those ashes, Marco will be reborn. One of the most satisfying elements of this theory is the mythology and lore behind the Kazenbo. In the 10th century, Buddhist monks reportedly went to Toribeyama in Kyoto to perform a religious self-cremation as a form of enlightenment. The monks who failed became fiery apparitions known as Kazenbo. Obviously, the mythology of the phoenix lines up with this, but also the mountain famous for the Kazenbo, Toribeyama, has the words for bird, tori, and mountain, yama, in Japanese. Currently, Kanjuro's Kazenbo is a fiery mountain, and Marco's fruit is the Tori Tori no Mi model phoenix. Marco, by committing this self-cremation within the Kazenbo, will achieve exactly what those beggar monks wanted. And also he has no drip, so he already looks like a beggar. We still love him anyway. Now, going strictly into the mythology of the phoenix to begin with, they're said to live for 500 years. Is it possible that the Marco that we've seen here is older than we think? Has he done this before? Is this something that he, after so many years or whatever, he's able to do it again and again and slightly change? Now, that's a possibility. Part of the Phoenix lore is that a Phoenix's tears can heal. Now, I don't expect to see that. I mean, pretty much we've already seen that with Mancherry. I think that was Oda taking that part of, Phoenix lore and all of that and putting it somewhere else. A Phoenix's ashes have also been rumored to bring back the dead. So if Oda wants to go down that route in Wano, everybody's going to say, why didn't Marco do that at Marineford? So I don't know if we're going to get that. But one consistent factor is that the phoenix immolates itself and then it is reborn anew within an egg. So we could see a situation where after Kazenbo is, dispatched, all of that, there is an egg sitting there, and then now someone has to take care of that egg. And it may be Yamato that's on egg duty. Now, another thing is that we could see potentially a younger version of Marco. I think Marco's age during the Oden flashback is something to throw us off. What if during the God Valley incident, Marco was a grown man and then did this whole process, came back as an egg, and then when we see him in the Oden flashback, he's now aged into a teenager. Does he age faster than normal humans? That's a potential question. Could we get like a kite at the end of the Chimera Ant arc situation, for those who understand what I'm saying there? If you know, you know. Also, the hypothetical de-aging of Marco is a fun parallel when you consider the aging up of Momonosuke. Credit to Chrissy, who brought that up when we were talking about it. Now, for the longest time, I've been one of the biggest supporters of we're going to Elbaf after Wano. And I still believe that we will go to Elbaf. But now, after rereading Chapter 909 and then thinking about this Marco theory, I think that one of the ways that it works is that if in the epilogue of Wano, we go to Sphinx Island, this would be, Whitebeard's hometown, where we see Marco at the beginning of Wano when he's sitting with Nekomamushi, and the Straw Hats go there to return the egg, or to return a young and or baby Marco to Sphinx Island, to someone's care over there. This could be the island where the Straw Hats go to recuperate after the raid. This could be, a situation that feeds into other theories of mine, where I believe that at the end of all of this, Luffy is going to be very hurt and he's going to need to recuperate for a good amount of time. So that's a way to get away, right? And then that brings like sort of a new arc and a new battle potentially, like the Sphinx Island arc, right? Where now a hurt Zoro, that's still recovering from everything in Onigashima and all of that, and the drug having worn off, now is leading the crew finally as vice captain. And then Weevil shows up to Sphinx Island looking for Marco, but Marco is an egg or a baby or a young boy. And then we get like Zoro and maybe some of the other Straw Hats against Weevil. That would be interesting. Now, another reason why I think it's possible that we go to Sphinx Island is the proximity of Ace's grave and Whitebeard's grave. Ace and his story has been so prevalent throughout the beginning in Act 1 of Wano, right? With Tama, etc., right? And anybody that follows this channel knows that I truly believe that Tama rides with them as the apprentice. We could see a situation where once Luffy has recovered, and he goes and he has his moment with his brother's grave, and potentially he brings Tama as well. It's possible. Now, theoretically, Marco would be the one to, guide them there and all of that, but if he's an egg and a baby, then that leaves an opportunity for Shanks to show up. And that we actually meet Shanks in Sphinx Island. That's where he goes to meet Luffy, and then Shanks takes Luffy over to Ace's grave because Shanks was there for the burial. He would know exactly where it is. This could be where Shanks and Luffy have, the conversation we've been waiting for since Chapter 1. I think that this would be a great way to sort of loop all of the themes of Wano together and have something very fitting. Now, granted, I would want Luffy to be somewhat healed because when he meets Shanks, I want the first thing that he does to try it. I want him to try and punch him. And I want Shanks to say, so your punch is a pistol now. I think that would just be peak fiction right there. In the event, which I am still sort of skeptical about, but it is possible, that Sabo is captured, and that we're going to have Marineford 2.0, where Luffy now has to save potentially not only Sabo, but maybe Vivi, if she's not with Sai and Leo on her way to see the Straw Hats, which was also telegraphed not only in the Reverie, but in Chapter 9-10. One of Luffy's first lines in the Wano arc is talking about how he wants to see Vivi again. We could get, Vivi showing up to Sphinx Island as well, I guess. In front of Ace's grave could be a good moment for Luffy to make a vow that, he's not going to let another brother die, right? And if he makes this vow in front of Shanks, this could be a good opportunity for a little mini time skip if the execution is not immediate, right? Where Shanks and his crew train the Straw Hats a little bit. We're diving deep here, maybe getting a little wacky, but with all of the news about Film Red and that, Shanks is playing a role and all of that, I don't really think anything's off the table right now. Sphinx Island thematically would also be a great place for Blackbeard's showdown, a beautiful, prosperous land cultivated by the father he abandoned and killed, destroyed by his black sheep. That's better than Weevil doing it, but it all depends on how many emperors are supposed to get involved in the 4 Emperors saga. Blackbeard did say that if the Marines, and the world government is just going to take it, he'll go and claim the prize. Now, with government ships ready to annex Wano, it would seem likely that Blackbeard will try to make his move. This could be what prompts Shanks' interference, and he and his crew could be the ones that lead and protect the Straw Hats on their way to Sphinx. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up. This was a lot of fun, sort of taking a character and thinking how they can go full circle, tying that to the themes of Wano, going back to 909, which was the beginning. How do we come full circle with that? We go back there. Why do we go back there? Coming up with situations. If you found this interesting, let me know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I do like taking characters and sort of diving into them and seeing where Oda could go to go that full circle route. We'll do more of these in the future for sure. And also, just because I'm talking about going to Sphinx Island does not mean that I've stopped believing that we're going to go to Elbaf. We're definitely going to Elbaf. It is the reason for One Piece. It is what got Oda to write this story. His infatuation with Norse mythology, so he's going to have to flex that, and we can talk about Elbaf more in a later video. Thanks so much, guys. Again, like, comment, subscribe. I'm Randy Troy, and I'll see you later.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.